What can we expect from the Premier's address today?
A very good morning to you, Alicia. Well, firstly, let me just say that, yes, we are indeed coming to you live from Pietermaritzburg at the Royal Showgrounds, where in about an hour or so, the Premier Senzo Mchunu will be making his address. And I can tell you here at the venue, it has been filling up with many of the guests have started to arrive from the members of the provincial legislature, opposition party leaders. They are also here. We also have the invited guests. They've also started making their way into the venue here. Speaking about what the Premier what we can expect rather from the address by our Premier. Earlier on, we spoke to the head of the provincial government communications, Mr. Ngweni, and he was basically saying that the Premier is going to cover a wide range of issues from agriculture to the energy crisis, which has affected the entire country, but also the province of Kwazulu-Natal, from issues ranging from health and education, also focusing on youth. And if I may go back maybe just to agriculture, what we understand is that government plans to intensify support for agricultural projects throughout the province of Kwazulu-Natal, being it that we are a rural province, and also that there is a lot of land that has been underutilized. So the Premier wants to focus on agriculture, also support given to farmers as well. We understand that government plans to provide additional equipment and seeds to our farmers, and also assist our farmers with exporting their products, etc. Also looking at farm workers, there's also been a challenge there and cries from workers and their children living on farms, and government plans to give them additional support. We understand that schools are going to be provided or brought closer so that children living on farms rather are able to access schools and also transport as well. On the energy crisis, which is one I think that has been widely talked about, as I said earlier, across the country, but it has also affected us very badly here in the province. We do hear that the Premier will be meeting with representatives from Eskom, and he plans to also invite business to that meeting to discuss how the province can deal with the energy crisis. Moving on, also very importantly, would be economic transformation and economic growth. They did say that there is really going to be a lot of focus on that. There are major developments that are being planned, that are in the pipeline for the province of KwaZulu-Natal. We understand that there is a multi-billion rand development around the Virginia airport, for many people who know, just out near Durban North, and as well as we know the developments that are currently taking place at the Durban Harbour, the widening of the harbour. That is a project that is going to take several years, but it is already underway, and we expect to hear more on those projects from the Premier. Growth of the economy is also going to be very important and critical, and the Premier will be outlining in his plans on how the economy can be improved, as well as also I think a lot of people on the ground. We understand that he has had interactions with members of the public just to gauge in what they would like to hear. Many people talking about jobs, so we are going to hear what the Premier plans, government's plans are to create more jobs for the people of KwaZulu-Natal. While speaking of jobs, also young people out there, many of them are unemployed, so we're also going to be hearing about the youth projects. The Premier has set up a youth office in his office, so we're hearing what plans they have been undergoing regarding young people and youth. He is apparently going to focus a lot and tell us about those programs. So really, as I said, it's a wide range of issues: education, health. We know that regarding education of the province of KwaZulu-Natal didn't do well in for the past matric results, so we do hear that he is going to speak about improving the quality of education, also mentioning infrastructure in provincial schools, facilities at schools such as laboratories and libraries. So we are going to be hearing what the Premier will be saying with that, and obviously eagerly awaiting to hear, as I said, what the Premier will be telling the people of KwaZulu-Natal from that address. A wide range of issues, so I've just basically given you, highlighted what we have been told we can expect. And as I said, here the venue, people are slowly filling up. I tell you, it is filling up. Behind me, in fact, are the members of the public, and they started arriving here at about 7 o'clock this morning. I think in about 15 minutes or so, the Premier will be arriving. Thereafter, the event will also be graced by His Majesty King Goodwill Zwelithini Kapeguzulu. He'll also be here at this event today. So a lot to look forward to, and from 11 o'clock, the Premier will then begin delivering his State of the Province address.
Ayanda, we've just seen the King in the visuals there. Now, he also officially opened the provincial legislature in Pietermaritzburg yesterday. What can you tell us about that address? Ayanda, can you hear us? All right, we seem to have lost Ayanda Mhlongo. They're out in Durban at the State of the Province address. We'll have more details on that story as it develops right here on AM News. Let's look at other news now. Boko Haram bombers killed 23 people yesterday as the insurgents fought back against a military offensive launched by Nigeria and 3 neighboring countries. A suicide bomber at a bus station in Biu